Sayer's Cliff and was running it on a pair of bent rabbit ears. Couldn't afford satellite, if such a luxury were even available in these godforsaken woods. Despite the abysmal reception, he never missed Tova in the Afternoon, the top-rated daytime talk show that specialized in true tales of human fortitude, the endurance of the human spirit, the likely existence of angels, and the healing powers of love. Des considered Tova's show the crystallization of all that was pitiable in the American character. The sentimentality, the infantilism, the dithery-headed optimism, the lust for success disguised as a quest for the spiritual. He particularly loved those episodes devoted to the perils of material desires, which ended with each member of the studio audience practically wetting herself with joy over receiving a 100% genuine Rolex watch. The show always buoyed him. It was living proof that his own dramatic fall from a life of comfort and respectability, a fall precipitated by the most natural and insistent of all human impulses, was anyone's fault but his own. It was the fault of a sick, silly, hypocritical society, a society in its death throes. To the sound of the show's raucous theme music, a blend of balalaikas and soft rock guitars, Tova burst from the wings, a short, heavyset woman with a mannish, square face and tear-misty brown eyes behind her trademark pink-framed glasses. She strode to the lip of the stage and threw her arms wide, as if to embrace the studio audience, which unleashed a storm of cheers and clapping. When this died down, she swept her gaze over the crowd and said, in an accent flavored by her native Queens, "Welcome all. Today we bring you a story of inspiration, a tale of hope and courage and survival, of choices made, of hurdles crossed, of deep loss and terrible sacrifice, and, always, the power of love." Des's favorite guests, the ones who best lent themselves to his sardonic ridicule, were the spirit mediums, the life coaches and ghost whisperers, the angel summoners, and relationship experts. Alas, today's show featured a mere memoirist, author of the book Lessons from My Daughter, the true story of the catastrophic stroke suffered by the writer's wife while she was giving birth to their only child, the titular daughter, now almost 5 years old. The episode promised to be a dreary bore. "Please," Chloe said, drawing out the word. "Come." Des did not budge. He felt an uncharacteristic pang of self-reproach at his disinclination to console the child in her grief. But he was at a loss for how to do so. Partly this was owing to that simple lack of human empathy, which Des freely and unapologetically acknowledged in himself. Then there was his own experience of parental loss, clearly so different from Chloe's. When his despised father, a judge, died last year, Des was ecstatic. Not because the old man had left him any of his considerable fortune. He hadn't, not a penny, which explained in part, but only in part, Des's current reduced circumstances. Finally, there was Des's fear that any tenderness he might display toward the girl would be mistaken for an overture toward a different kind of intimacy, the sexual intimacy that had been his reason for pursuing her in the first place, but which, lately, had become a physiological impossibility, ever since his job loss and the subsequent depression that had settled over him, rendering him humiliatingly, and for the first time ever, impotent. "Well then, I'm getting up," Chloe said. He turned toward the sleeping Nook and watched as she threw back the sheet and climbed from the bed. Dressed only in a pair of white Y-front underpants and a shrunken t-shirt, she stood in profile to him, lifting her elbows high as she swirled her hair into a ponytail, the gawkiness of her elongated limbs contrasting with the roundness and resilience of her womanly curves. At 17, she had not fully left childhood, but neither had she fully entered adulthood, and it was the teasing, teetering balance between the two states that so stirred Des.